Hollywood's Blacklist. 30 stars who disappeared from fame Hollywood, where the lights are bright and fame is something everyone desires. But behind the glamour lies a harsh world where one wrong decision or controversial statement can change a career in a completely different direction. Many once sought-after stars are no longer seen on screen, and the reasons behind it sometimes surprise the public. Isaiah Washington was once one of the most recognizable faces on American television. He rose to fame as Dr. Preston Burke on the hit series Grey's Anatomy, a role that earned him a cult following and marked a major breakthrough in his career. With his mature and powerful acting style, Washington quickly became a sought-after television star in Hollywood in the mid-2000s. However, in 2007, his career took a turn for the worse when allegations arose that he had used racist language during an argument with a co-star. The incident attracted a lot of media attention, and although Isaiah Washington later publicly apologized, the public storm did not subside. Shortly after, he left the main cast of Grey's Anatomy. The show was at the height of its success at the time. In later interviews, Washington said that the controversy had a profound impact on his career, making it difficult for him to find new roles in Hollywood. Despite this, he has continued to work in the industry, appearing in a number of independent films and small television series, while also pursuing his own social and artistic activism. Isaiah Washington's story is a prime example of how one moment of misstep or misunderstanding in the entertainment industry can change an entire career, and a reminder that in Hollywood, fame is both the most precious and the most fragile thing. Charlie Sheen was once one of the most powerful names in Hollywood. With the role of Charlie Harper in the hit sitcom 2.5 Men, he not only brought laughter to millions of viewers, but also became one of the highest-paid TV actors in the world. However, behind the spotlight, Sheen's life began to slide into the noisy years. Erratic behavior, controversial statements, and personal problems made his image in the media increasingly complicated. Finally, after a series of troubles, Charlie Sheen was fired from 2.5 Men, the film that brought his name to the peak of fame. Since then, Sheen's career has gone downhill. He almost disappeared from the main roles in big movies and TV, only appearing in small projects or self-producing. Still, Charlie Sheen retains a loyal fan base who remember him as a symbol of a golden age of American television, both brilliant and turbulent. Katherine Heigl was once Hollywood's queen of romantic comedies, with memorable roles in 27 Dresses and Knocked Up. She had a bright smile, charming demeanor, and was considered one of the brightest stars of the 2000s. But at the height of her fame, Heigl caused a stir in Hollywood when she publicly criticized some of the projects she participated in and spoke out about the unfair treatment of female actors. Those outspoken statements were quickly interpreted in a negative way, and Heigl began to earn a reputation as difficult to work with. The bad reputation spread quickly in the film industry, and soon leading roles gradually disappeared. No one officially announced it, but everyone understood. Katherine Heigl was quietly pushed out of Hollywood. Her career slowed down, and the name that once covered the box office charts now only appeared in small projects, far from the halo of her former glory. Still, Katherine Heigl stands her ground. A woman who speaks out, dares to confront, even when there is a price to pay for her candor. Rose McGowan was one of Hollywood's brightest faces in the late 1990s, rising to prominence with her roles in Scream and Charmed. With her rugged beauty, rebellious style, and captivating acting ability, she quickly became a symbol of the new wave of young actresses in Hollywood at that time. But at the height of her career, McGowan chose a path that few dared to take, speaking out against the most powerful force in Hollywood, producer Harvey Weinstein. She denounced the abuse and at the same time exposed a web of silence surrounding misconduct in the film industry. Her accusation became one of the first sparks to ignite the non-return Me Too movement, helping hundreds of other women bravely tell their stories. But from there, McGowan said she faced serious consequences. Studios cut her contracts, movie offers disappeared, and the media began to shun her. Once a potential A-list actress, Rose McGowan gradually disappeared from major projects, and her career almost frozen. However, instead of being silent, she continued to speak out. becoming one of the strongest voices for justice and women's rights. Today, McGowan is remembered not only as a talented actress, but also as a woman who dared to confront the power system of Hollywood, willing to sacrifice her fame to bring a voice to the forgotten. Cuba Gooding Jr. was once one of Hollywood's brightest faces. With his iconic role in Jerry Maguire, he won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor and quickly became a symbol of a successful black star in the film capital. Since then, Gooding Jr. has continued to appear in a series of outstanding films such as Men of Honor, Radio, and Pearl Harbor, affirming his talent and appeal on the big screen. He is considered a versatile actor, able to make the audience laugh, move, or stand up and applaud. However, in recent years, his career has taken a different direction when many allegations related to sexual assault were made public. The lawsuits and public reactions have seriously affected Gooding Jr.'s image, and many studios have also begun to distance themselves from him. Although there has been no official announcement about being banned, the reality shows that Cuba Gooding Jr. has all but disappeared from Hollywood's big projects. Once one of the most beloved faces of the 1990s, he is now rarely seen in public, and his film career seems to have stalled. The story of Cuba Gooding Jr. is a reminder that in Hollywood, the spotlight can shine brightly, but it can also be extinguished in a single incident. Rob Schneider is one of Hollywood's most recognizable comedians, known for his witty, sometimes weird style in films such as Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, The Hot Chick, and a series of works produced by his close friend Adam Sandler. Thanks to his charming acting, Schneider was once considered the golden comedy of American comedy films in the late 1990s, early 2000s. However, as time passed, Schneider's career gradually changed. In real life, he began to express his personal views on politics and society, topics that are sensitive in the American entertainment industry. Some of his outspoken statements, along with controversial jokes, were said to be unpopular with many colleagues and producers in Hollywood. Since then, Schneider's opportunities for big roles have begun to narrow. He has been less involved in box office blockbusters, instead turning to independent projects, television series, and stand-up comedy. Although he has never been officially banned, Rob Schneider is considered one of Hollywood's left-behind names. Yet he continues to work tirelessly, maintaining a close relationship with his fans and maintaining his signature comedic style, something that has made him beloved for decades. Mo'Nique wowed the world with her stellar performance in 2009's Precious, which earned her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. From a stand-up comedian, Mo'Nique proved her deep and powerful acting skills, opening up opportunities to enter the ranks of Hollywood's A-list stars. But instead of a flourishing career, things seemed to slow down soon after that glory. Mo'Nique began to speak out about the inequality in treatment and pay among actors, especially women of color, in the entertainment industry. She also publicly said that her refusal to follow the unwritten rules of the industry had alienated her. According to Mo'Nique, powerful figures like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry contributed to her being blacklisted in Hollywood, something neither of them later commented on in depth. Despite no official ban, her big roles gradually disappeared, and Mo'Nique was largely sidelined from major projects for years. However, she continued on her path, returning to stand-up comedy, independent projects, and steadfastly fighting for equality in the film industry. Mo'Nique's story is not only about the trade-offs in her career, but also the journey of a woman who dared to speak her truth, despite facing a system of power behind the flashy lights of Hollywood. Russell Brand was a phenomenon in the British-American entertainment industry. With his bold, intelligent, and sometimes wild stand-up comedy style, he quickly became a sought-after star in Hollywood. Roles in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Him to the Greek, and Arthur helped Brand make his mark as a gentleman eccentric, both charming and unpredictable. But the spotlight did not last forever. In the following years, Russell Brand began to make many controversial statements and personal views, from politics, society, to the media and entertainment industry. Combined with personal scandals and a tense relationship with the press, his public image gradually became divided. As the wave of criticism increased, Hollywood studios began to distance themselves, and opportunities for Brand to play big roles gradually disappeared. While there was no official ban, the reality was that he was pushed out of the Hollywood mainstream, no longer appearing in blockbusters like before. Rather than withdrawing completely, Russell Brand turned to independent projects, talk shows, and personal podcasts where he could freely express his views and create in his own way. Despite the controversy, Brand still maintained a loyal fan base, people who loved his frankness and difference in an entertainment world full of rules and standards. Armie Hammer was once considered the classic male god of Hollywood, handsome, stylish, and possessing a rare aristocratic temperament. He rose to fame through films such as The Social Network and especially Call Me By Your Name, a role that earned him numerous award nominations and opened the door to a series of major projects. However, in 2021, that shining image quickly collapsed. Armie Hammer faced allegations of inappropriate behavior and controversial messages circulating online, attracting the attention of the public and the media. When the incident became noisy, film studios simultaneously canceled contracts or removed him from ongoing projects, causing Armie's career to almost freeze in a short time. From a star expected to become the leading face of the new generation, Armie Hammer was placed on the fringes of Hollywood, and since then, he has almost disappeared from the big screen. Hammer now lives a private life, away from the cameras. While there has been no official announcement of a comeback, his story is still considered one of the most remarkable falls in modern Hollywood, where fame and infamy can change in the blink of an eye. Tobey Maguire, a name that has been associated with the childhood of millions of audiences around the world. He became an icon when he transformed into Spider-Man in the Spider-Man trilogy in the early 2000s, directed by Sam Raimi. With his genuine, rustic, and emotional acting, Tobey Maguire turned Peter Parker into one of the most beloved superheroes of all time, and at the same time brought him to the rank of A-list Hollywood star. However, after that resounding success, Tobey's career gradually slowed down. In the following years, he only participated in a few projects such as The Great Gatsby or Brothers, then gradually withdrew from the spotlight. Many sources said that Tobey wanted to spend time with his family and stay away from the glamorous life of Hollywood. However, some opinions in the industry said that his closed personality and overly cautious choice of projects have caused him to be gradually forgotten in the flow of the film industry. Despite not being banned or boycotted, Tobey Maguire has rarely appeared on the big screen. Instead, he has turned to film production and behind-the-scenes investment, only occasionally appearing in small projects or independent films. This has made him one of Hollywood's most hidden stars, someone who was once praised by the world, but now chooses a simple life, away from the noise of fame. However, Tobey made a spectacular comeback in 2021 in Spider-Man No Way Home, when he appeared on screen with two other generations of Spider-Men, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. That moment was not only a gift for fans, but also a reminder that, even though he has left the spotlight, Tobey Maguire is still an indispensable part of the superhero cinema legacy. Stacey Dash was one of the most promising faces of Hollywood in the 1990s. With her iconic role in Clueless, she quickly became a fashion and beauty icon and was expected to be the next big star of the American screen. However, after the halo, Dash's career took a completely different direction. In the 2010s, she frequently appeared on television channels with outspoken and controversial political statements, especially when her views went against the majority of Hollywood artists. This caused many producers and studios to quietly distance themselves from her. From a sought-after actress, Stacey Dash gradually disappeared from mainstream projects, and movie offers became rarer than ever. Although not officially banned, expressing her views publicly made her a symbol of the divide between art and politics in Hollywood. Today, Stacey Dash still appears in a number of independent shows and solo projects, but the luster of her Clueless days seems like a distant memory. Her story is a testament to the harsh realities of Hollywood, where one statement can be enough to change an entire career. Christopher Mintz-Plasse became a pop culture phenomenon thanks to his role as McLovin in Superbad, a clumsy but memorable character that made him a teen icon of the 2000s. His rise to fame came so quickly that many believed Mintz-Plasse would be Hollywood's next big thing. However, the huge success of Superbad turned out to be a double-edged sword. He was boxed in the image of a funny, naive guy, making producers hesitant to give him more serious leading roles. Despite participating in many other films such as Kick-Ass or Role Models, Mintz-Plasse still could not escape the shadow of McLovin. For many years, he almost disappeared from major projects, only appearing sporadically in supporting roles or voiceover roles. Although he was not banned by Hollywood, it was clear that he had gone through a long period of being pushed out of the spotlight. Today, Christopher Mintz-Plasse still works, but mostly in small projects, independent films, and voiceover roles. His story reflects the harsh realities of Hollywood, where a role can bring fame, but can also limit a career. Seann William Scott was one of the most beloved comedians of the early 2000s, best known for his role as Stifler, the wild, the mischievous guy in the American Pie series. The character quickly became a pop culture icon, bringing Scott global fame and paving the way for a series of other comedic roles. However, after the spotlight of American Pie faded, his career began to slow down. Being pigeonholed as a badass made it difficult for Scott to escape recurring comedic roles, while personal disputes and disagreements with several studios over his direction further distanced him from Hollywood. Although he continued to work in the industry, mainly through independent film projects, supporting roles, and voiceover work, Seann William Scott no longer maintained the A-list star status he once had. His story is a testament to the harsh realities of Hollywood, where a role can catapult you to the top overnight or leave you trapped in your own shadow forever. Hollywood, a place that can turn a nobody into a legend with just one movie, but can also take them out of the spotlight overnight. Whether it's due to controversy, statements, or behind-the-scenes conflicts, each story on this list reminds us that the spotlight here is never free. One word, one choice, or just one wrong moment can be enough to change an entire career. But for many of them, despite being pushed aside, they continue to stand up, find a new path for themselves, because Hollywood may turn its back, but audiences never forget, never forget, never forget.